Welcome back to the Science Lab. I can't wait to do experiments with you today. We're going to do rainbow experiments. You are going to need paper towels, a funnel, 2 clear cups, water, washable markers, permanent markers, and a clear dish. Alright, go grab your supplies and meet me back here. I can't wait. For the first experiment, we're going to grow a rainbow. For this activity, you'll need your paper towels and your washable markers to start. You'll also need a pair of scissors to cut the paper towels. Alright, let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do is break a piece of paper towel off. Now you don't want to make it too thick, so if yours is really thick, you'll want to cut it down just a little bit. Now mine's only like a half paper towel, so it's actually not that thick, so I'm just going to cut off a little bit of the edge just to make it a little thinner. So it looks like this. Then you're going to need your markers. I don't have red because the last experiment I used my red marker. So instead of red, I'm going to use pink. Then you'll need orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple for this experiment. Roll up your sleeves so that you don't get marker on them. Now you're going to want to start making little rectangles on both sides of your paper towel. You want to make sure to use a lot of the ink. It's okay if you get a little bit on your table because it could be washed off later. I'll even grab, there we go, paper so it protects my surface a little bit. So instead of red, I'm using pink, but you'd put your red first, and then same thing on the other side. If you don't have red, you can use pink. If you don't have all the colors I have, you could just make them any color, but I'm using the colors of a rainbow. Next, you'll do a stripe of orange. Making sure you use lots of your ink, but don't go too hard. You don't want to puncture it through. Same on the other side, you're going to do a strip of orange. Then you're going to do yellow, because that's the next color in the rainbow. And again on the other side. Go. Next, you need green. And green on the other side. And then we need blue. And blue on the other side. And our last color we need is purple. And purple on the other side. So when you're done, your paper towel strip should have a rainbow on both sides. Now for this next part, you're going to want 2 small clear cups or glasses. I'm just using 2 different beakers. You want to take your water and pour it into the beakers. And if you need a funnel, you can also use a funnel. I won't need a funnel because my beakers are kind of have big openings, so I won't need a funnel. You want to pour it about 3/4 of the way full. There's 1. There's 2. We have 2 beakers. Now you're going to take your rainbow paper towel and you're going to dip one side in one cup, one side in the other cup. Now you don't want it to go all the way past the colors. You just want to put it a little bit in so that way the water will meet the colors. And it's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes for this to work. So while we're waiting, we're going to start our next experiment. We can already see the colors are starting to bleed up. Now my containers are a little bit small for this length of paper towel, but that's okay. We see that the markers have turned the water a different color. And the other one is very blue. So we're going to let this sit for about 10 to 15 minutes while we do our next experiment, and then we will come check it again. Alright, while we wait for that experiment to finish up, we're going to do our next one. It is going to be a magic rainbow picture. For this activity, you'll need paper towel, washable markers, permanent markers, scissors, water, and a container. Your container doesn't have to be clear, but it has to be able to hold water. All right, let's get started. While we were doing our activity, look how much has already traveled. We only have a little bit of white spot left. Look at our rainbow. This is an amazing traveling rainbow. Now, let's get ready for an amazing rainbow magic science experiment. Let the rainbow shine bright. And a rainbow appears. Let's find out how to do this amazing activity. So for this activity, you're going to need a piece of paper towel. You're going to need washable markers and permanent markers. You're going to need some water. You're also going to need a plate or dish to put water in. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your paper towel and you're going to fold it in half so you have a nice square. I'm using a piece of paper to write on, that way it doesn't get my table all messy. Then you need to think of a picture you want to draw. I think I'm going to draw a dog. And when I put it in the water, a hat's going to appear on his head. So the main picture is going to be on the front of your paper towel. So if I'm drawing a dog, I'm going to make him brown. So draw whatever picture you want on the front. Make sure you're using permanent markers when you're drawing on the front. And he's sitting in some grass. When you're happy with your drawing, and it's all in permanent marker, then you're going to decide what you want to appear when he goes in the water. So I'm going to make a hat on my dog because I want a hat to appear. So you're going to open up your paper towel. And a little bit of your dog went on the inside. That's okay. You're going to draw with the washable markers something that's going to appear. So I'm going to draw a hat. I'm going to use the outline of my dog for the base. So he's going to have a top hat. Remember, this is on the inside and I'm using washable markers. The reason for this is because washable markers, like we learned before, are water-based. That means that when you put them in water, the color runs a little bit, also known as the marker bleeding. It's bleeding out. The color's running. So when you put it in water, the color is going to go through this one into your first picture. So see, no hat, hat. All right. When you're done your picture, we're going to go to the next step. So now that you have your creation, you use permanent marker on the front, washable marker on the inside. So it looks kind of like a book. Now, we're going to put our dish with some water right in front. You don't need a lot of water, just enough to cover the whole bottom of your dish. That is good. All right, now we're ready to watch the magic appear. Take your picture. When I say 3, you're going to drop your picture in the water. 1, 2, 3. And let's watch what happens. Look at that! My dog is wearing a hat. What happened in your picture? All right, let's go check out our other science experiment because I can't wait to see what happened. That was an amazing experiment. Now, let's go back to our first experiment because it's been about 10 minutes and see what happened. Look at our rainbow. Our paper towel was white all here and the colors were only at the ends. Now, we have an amazing rainbow creation. I can't believe it. How did it work though? What happened, do you think? Let's find out. Being a scientist, we always have to ask the question, why? Why did this happen? Why did our rainbow expand? When we did our magical rainbow experiment, why did the color from the back of the paper towel move to the front? Well, you know where we always get our answers from. Our answer book. All right, answer book, what do you have for us today? What is the science behind this experiment? This science experiment is a great example of chromatography. Didn't we learn about this a week or 2 ago with another science experiment? We did! When we used our dry erase markers and made our floating pictures. Wow! Chromatography is a way of separating out a mixture of chemicals. If you ever got a paper with ink wet, you would have seen the ink move across the page in streaks. Capillary action makes the marker dye move up the paper towel. The water moves upward through the paper towel, lifting the washable dye molecules with it. Because the washable markers are water-based, they disperse in water. So because our marker's water-based, when the water moves up the paper towel, it takes the washable marker dye with it. Just like when we made our dog, or whatever picture you made, mine was a dog, and I put the hat on the second page. When the paper towel got wet, it lifted up the color from the second page and made my dog have a hat. That's amazing. But why didn't it work with the permanent marker? If you were to try this experiment with permanent markers, it wouldn't work. That's why our dog didn't get all over the page, because permanent marker didn't work. Only the washable one did. This is because the permanent markers are not water-based. They are alcohol-based. So the dye in the marker does not travel with water. I didn't know that. So when you use permanent marker, the water won't take the color with it. But when you use washable marker, the water can pick up the color and make it move. This was an amazing experiment. Can't wait to see what we do next week.